Yo, YouTube, what the fuck going? It's your boy Devo Loud back with another video, man. I'm in that bit cooking up shit, you see what I'm saying? You probably can't tell, but it's a little messy, but just cooking up some wax denim type shit. Oh my gosh. Fuck. Alright, we're gonna do that again. But yeah, though, bruh. Nigga over here waxing these jeans and shit, bruh. I kinda ran out of the fucking. I ain't gonna say I ran out. I ain't even used it all yet, but it is fabric shit, bro. But yeah, bro. As a whole, I ain't really had too much shit. I ain't gonna even say that, bro. I wanted to get on here talking about like just growth and like success and shit and like overcoming like the shit that you gotta overcome with that shit, bro. Like, and the things that I've been going through and the things I've been like learning about like as I've been doing this shit, bro. Like, I think for me, overcoming, it's not even like projection, but I think like the fucking dealing with family and shit when that shit has been something that's always been like close to you and like seeing the change and shit as you growing into who you are, and you know niggas ain't really ready to let go of the image that they got of you and shit, and how like you gotta really overcome that shit and dealing with like all of that shit, whether it's like niggas being narcissistic and shit, not really wanting to see you go further than them, even if it's like an unsaid shit they might be saying that they do, but they actions show otherwise and shit like that. Like dealing with that shit, bro. Like that's what I really been like dealing with, because it's like I done mastered this shit as far as like external people. Like, I'm not gonna give a fuck if a nigga in the comments, you get what I'm saying shit like, but I think it's just like the people that you held closest to you, that shit has been like the shit that I've been like working on the most, because it's like that shit damn near was like weighing on my heart, like, you know, like knowing that you gotta release this shit in order to get to that next level, making room, you know, when they be saying like your old life gotta go and shit for the new one to come in and shit, bro. Like that kind of shit, bro. And you know that shit really been just like difficult, but not impossible, but just like I think it's just adjusting to the change because it was so sudden, and then it's like coming back to back off of like, you know, other personal shit, like other relationships and shit. So the first you got boom this one, then boom, then you got another one. So this shit, you know what I'm saying? Like nigga really spiraled on some shit, but it's like not on some shit like. Nah, like I call it for what it is though, bro. It's like, you know, you was doing everything. I feel like I was like doing everything, and I was like in my, I guess you could say like your bag and shit. It's not like I'm not doing this shit right now, or like nigga didn't get through that shit, but it's just like, you know, I be looking at myself and where I was and shit, and I make sure that I'm really not judging myself. And this is another aspect of it, because it's like, you know, like this is the nigga who's being perceived as always got it together, always confident and shit. And it's like, you know, what about the moments when it's like when a nigga needs something, when a nigga like me needs something, you know what I'm saying? It's like everybody else want to think you got it all together and shit. And so it's like, it's not to say like you don't have, you know, a plan, or like you stop sticking to your goals and shit, but it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like nigga be going through shit too, bro, and it be like just walking this path and shit, you really see like niggas can only see niggas can only meet you at where they done met themselves and shit, bro. And that shit be like, damn, bro, because it be like, you know, you be wanting niggas to come along, and then, you know, they be saying like you gotta walk certain paths, you know, you gotta be walked by yourself and shit, and that shit real as fuck. But it's just like that don't make that shit no more easier to like. I think it's really more so just like surrendering that shit. Like you can't really hold on to the old and shit, and that shit can be scary. Like you don't let everything go, and you don't know what the fuck is really in front of you. Like on some shit like that. It's also been some shit I've been dealing with. Survivor's remorse. You get what I'm saying? Shit like that. Like, really growing past an environment, outgrowing an environment where, like, you know, you done changed, but say somebody see you today, they gonna equate to you from the nigga from 6 years ago. That nigga don't even exist no more. You feel what I'm saying? Like, shit like that, bro. And then, like, you got old niggas trying to come back and shit. I be blocking that shit out, bro, because it's like, man, hell no, bro. Like, I don't be fucking with that shit, bro. Like, because niggas had the opportunity to, you know, treat, you know, that version of you how you supposed to be treated. And it's like, I get it, bro. Everybody human and shit, but I ain't going for that shit, bro. I ain't never really been a nigga to go for that shit, bro, because niggas be weird, bro. It's like, and it's just what it is, though, bro. Like, just being alright with growth and change and shit, though, bro. Not really getting too much off the topic and shit, bro. But just, like, understanding, like, it's more to life than just, you know, the environment that you done goddamn grew up in and shit. Especially, like, if you know that you are doing something extremely expensive, like, that nigga's not gonna get this shit. And I think, like, a lot of that shit, too, is, like, I've been having to, like, work on my mindset and shit as well, knowing, like, I don't gotta, like, struggle for this shit. I don't gotta, like, work hard for this shit. I don't gotta, like, you know, give up my integrity and, like, my morals and the things that I've built, especially, like, being just on this path and even a spiritual path as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit, too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just all of this shit as a whole, bro. Like, knowing that, like, this path is meant for you, and, like, sometimes the roughest parts show you this shit. One, to show you how strong you are, but also to show you, like, you know, how can you appreciate the good shit if you only go through good shit. You get what I'm saying? And it's like wrapping my head around this shit, but not really trying to think too much on it, because it's like just knowing, like, everything gonna be taken care of, in the sense of, like, I wouldn't have gotten this far just to come this far. You get what I'm saying? Or, like, yeah, like, I wouldn't have came this far just to come this far. You get what I'm saying? As far as my journey goes and shit. And it's like, you know, this is other aspects of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas be talking about this shit, like the doubts, the worry, the fear, the anxiety, all of these things. Like, you know, all of these things are real aspects of it, and they can definitely creep in when it's like, you know, you done let all this other shit go. But it's not even so much as, like, these are things that I'm, like, I feel like carrying. I feel like I don't allow myself to, I like, carry that shit. I allow myself to feel it, but it's like I allow myself to feel it deeply, but I don't like to carry those things or say that, oh, I'm anxious, oh, I'm all these things, when it's like a lot of this shit really stems from that topic of, you know what I'm saying, like, talking about earlier, like, just the projections, like, you get what I'm saying, like, knowing that I can't really be around these niggas because they gonna say some negative shit, and, like, having to protect your energy and shit. Like, that's why a lot of my videos be in this space, because it's like, you know, this is like my oasis for my creative space and just the things that I'm doing and shit, bro. And so it's like, I be really working on my shit, and I really be doing it, and it's like, you know, from the outside looking in, it can look like nothing if you don't know what I'm doing. A lot of things I keep it, you know, to myself. Not in the sense of, like, I don't be posting or, like, doing it, but it's like, you know, everybody ain't meant to see this shit, you know, especially when niggas then flat out say they don't really, like, support you for what you doing and shit, and then but want the benefits of said thing. Like, I can't fuck with that. And just as a whole, bro, it's like, it's changing a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's cool when it's like, you know, the accolades and shit, but, like, when it's like, you get what I'm saying, like, really in the, I ain't gonna say in the mud, but, like, you get what I'm saying, like, really doing that shit, then that's when it's like niggas don't want to believe in that shit, or niggas want to project their own insecurities. And I think just because it came from family, like, that's been, like, a thing that I've been, like, working through the most, because it's like, for me, I ain't gonna sit up and be like, oh yeah, that's just like a thing, but it's like, I ain't really ever gave a fuck. But I think because that would be the narrative that I would spin, that I don't give a fuck. But in reality, that I really care deeply, because it was like I try to keep these niggas in my life, and then it's like you really just see like niggas just incompatible, bro. And it's like I'm learning to not feel bad about that shit for outgrowing people, but it almost feels like what the fuck when you are learning to get a different aspect of success and build a different relationship with that shit, and you got niggas almost like trying to do underhanded shit, like the unsaid shit, to fucking deter you, like, from said success and shit, like, cause they really envy how you do the things that you do. Like, yeah, it's just things that you just see in conversation or in experience, things that if you notice pattern recognition, like, you gonna see that shit. Like, I don't know, like, anytime, like, nigga, I done did some shit that's been, like, outrageous, or, like, some fire shit, like, some shit nigga be like, oh, shit, boy, nigga, that shit fire. Them niggas will get the big eyes, and then try to, like, dismiss that shit, or, like, try to act like, oh, I ain't do nothing, or try to, like, divert that shit, almost like erasure. Like, niggas don't want you to know who you are, as if I'm not doing all of these things and seeing the results in real time, but because they don't see it, it's like a shield on that shit, bro. And I'm really talking about, like, real shit that's nothing, like, happen. Like, imagine, like, and, that's why you gotta really be mindful of, like, the things that you say and are telling people, bro. And it's like me learning that shit is like seeing that shit from family and shit. So it's like, this shit from outside shit, but it's like, damn, but like my folks, yeah, that shit hit different. And it's like, but this is also a part of that shit, because it's like niggas done showed their colors. So how can I be tripping when shit go how it go? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, niggas just documenting this shit, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? I wanna see how this shit. You probably can't even see that shit. I do another thing. It ain't nothing crazy, just getting that other shit on there, like that waxy look to it. But yeah, though, bro, like, niggas show their true colors, and it's like, so I know how to move, and it's like, instead of like being sad about it, or like being like, oh my gosh, why them? It's like more so acceptance, grieve it, let it go, and continue to fucking like, show up. And it's like, I think a lot of that shit is like reprogramming myself after going through like something like traumatic, and like really having to reprogram my mind, like, to get back on that shit, because it's like not letting niggas put a ceiling on my shit. You get what I'm saying? Especially like if it was something like that. Like, for me, I'm like, like, niggas, it's just like a lot, bro. It's like, I think, like, really just being vulnerable, though, like, just talking about this shit, like, as a whole, bro. Like, niggas just be like, nigga had crossed like boundaries and shit that I was just like not going for, bro. And it's like, having to stand up for yourself, bro, and just really make that executive decision to hire and fire people in your life, nigga. It don't even matter, like, if it's mammy pappy type shit, you get what I'm saying? They gotta go too, bro. And it's like, not being afraid of that shit, or like, and it's like, that shit has been like, it's different, because it's like, you ain't never thought like that shit would be some shit that you had to do, but it's like, well, now you're in it, and like, this is the change that niggas wanted in shit too. But it's like, it just really adjusting, bro. And there's been shit I've been like just dealing with, bro. Like, it's not that I don't feel like everything working out, because I know it is. It's just being almost like being in a lobby with a nigga talking shit, or like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you gotta go new server, twin. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's just what a nigga is. This is when nigga be talking about all that like timeline shit. This shit damn near sound more spiritual than it do about business, bro. But it's like, it's just this other aspect of this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking as I'm doing these clothes and shit, bro. But like, it's like a vulnerable moment, a teachable moment, and like documentation. One, cause I'm cooking up, and two, it's just shit that I've been like feeling as of late. but it's like just really understanding, like, I think it's just it all came at like one time, and I think I don't like to look at things like a test, because it's like, nigga, this shit is only happening for my greatest and highest good. So it's like, nigga, if I know if I can get through this, it's like there's nothing that can fuck with me. And it's like, and I'm saying that because I done went through far more other things, but it's like, it's just really, I think, like the emotional connection, or like the, like, you grieving the potential, and or like what could have been had, niggas, you can't change other people though. So it's like, I'm learning to like just accept that shit. And it's like, the thing is, like, I wouldn't even be looking at this shit from anybody else. But once again, it's just like, man, I'm just talking about this shit, bro, because it's like, it's real shit, and I don't think like a lot of these things like are talked about, and if they are, it's like, it'd be like by bigger people. So it's like, if I can document this shit, niggas go back and look at this shit and be like, damn, nigga, I be going through the same shit, like, you know what I'm saying, shit like that, bro. That's why I'm talking about this shit more so. But just as a whole, still pushing through this shit, still making sure you showing up for yourself, still making sure you taking care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Not letting that shit affect like your regimen and how like you show up for yourself, because it's like a lot of my stuff is based in self-love, self-care and shit. And it's like moments like this, I'm in here talking to the camera, but I know I'm talking to niggas who gonna see this shit, and niggas trying to like act like I'm in here tripping, like, you know what I'm saying, like, cause they can't see this kind of shit. Niggas wouldn't know how to do a fucking YouTube video. You know what I'm saying? It's just two different worlds and shit, bro. And it's like, you can't be listening to niggas you wouldn't trade lives with. And that's what I've been like getting at. And it's like these things, but actualizing it in the moment while you're still in it, knowing that you're already really so far ahead of all the shit that's going on. But it's like, nigga, just cause it ain't, you know what I'm saying, like, getting to that point. And this is like a transition period. That's why I'm really like documenting this shit, because it's like, nigga, it's not gonna be like this forever. And it's like, this is lore. This shit just lore, twin. It's like, I don't like to look at this shit like, oh, woe is me. It's like, nigga, this shit just building lore, twin. Like, nigga, you know what I'm saying? In my painting shirt and shit. Type shit, but yeah, nigga, it's like, this how I'm just like looking at it, like, nigga, superhero story and shit, man, overcoming fuck niggas and shit. And it's like, yeah, I can say that shit with love and shit, because it's like, it's not like I look at these niggas and hate them, but it's like, you gotta understand, it's like, you gotta tell the truth, and your truth, my truth, nigga. Like, stop trying to sugarcoat this shit for niggas. Like, man, these niggas be doing weird shit, when it's like, and they done did it, and then it's like, when you call them out on it, then niggas be trying to act crazy and don't want to take accountability, trying to, it's like, I'm not going for that shit, bro. So it's just been like, you doing your stuff though, bro, and like, I like to keep my shit private until it's done and complete and shit, bro. And just not letting that shit fuck up the process, not letting that shit hinder what I'm actually accomplishing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just did an interview and shit, and like, the shit got posted and shit, not just like popping and shit to show accolades and shit, because it's like, this is the things that I'm really working with right now, like being the nigga I am, like, without the accolades, you get what I'm saying? Like, still maintaining who I say I am, and the things, like, that aspect of it, because it's like, the accolades and shit, that shit cool, but it's like, it's not even trying to, I'm gonna make sure I'm, like, saying this shit right. It ain't about saying this shit right, but just understanding, like, nigga, without anything, I'm everything, bro. Like, it don't matter about the money, it don't matter about anything else, and it's like, it don't gotta be no hard shit, bro. It's like, I don't gotta work hard for this shit, because it's a different age, bro. It's like, nigga, everything on the phone now. It's like, I ain't gotta sit up and be acting like it's like you gotta. I'm not saying you ain't gotta put in no inspired action with this shit, but it's like, nigga, if that's all you do, it's like, at some point you gotta rest, twin. And you gotta have that work fun relationship with this shit, and that's like, the shit I'm building, because that shit looks so different from people who don't operate on that shit. It's like, you get what I'm saying? But it's like having to stand on that shit and not let that shit fuck with you, and knowing that it's okay to rest, it's okay to take time, it's okay to, take a break, take a couple days off. You get what I'm saying? Like shit like that, bro. And just like not letting this shit be the outlet. I don't want the work to be the outlet to fucking suppress how I feel, or just like, you get what I'm saying, like not acknowledge the things that I'm feeling right now. You get what I'm saying? So really still taking the time to feel everything out, allow myself to get whatever emotion and feel it fully, and then still, you get what I'm saying, get back to the shit, bro. Like when you ready though, like it's like nigga, I do so many different things. It's like that shit. I nigga never running out of content and shit. Like nigga just part the shit up while I'm painting these jeans and shit. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of see that shit. But, you know what I'm saying? Just shit like that, though, bro. So it's like, nigga never running out of this shit, bro. But it's just like, shit be the things niggas gotta deal with on this journey, bro. And it's like, it's like, it's shit just like, what the fuck? A lot of times, a nigga don't even be knowing what the fuck to say about this shit. Because it's like, in real time, this is shit crazy. It just changed, though, bro. And I think, like, that's the biggest thing. It's like, just getting used to that shit, getting used to being in that unknown shit and knowing that it's still safe. Choosing to work through this shit, take it one day at a time, and not so much as let anxiety and fear control you, or make it like you fear your own success or fear your own power. You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm like learning, to not fear my own power within this shit, bro. Because it's like this gift, this talent, this path, nigga, this shit is like, nigga, this shit was already mine. Like, you gotta know this shit already, it's already wrote. Shit gonna work out how it's supposed to, and like every aspect of it is like, you watching yourself unfold this shit. So it's like this change, this rapid change that you seeing, is nothing but you experiencing yourself in a way like that, you shaping your reality, like you shifting this shit. So it's like the old shit falling away so that the new shit can be here. And I think I've released so much and let go of so much, you almost feel like you're in the fucking void of nothingness, but in that void is everything. And that's what I'm getting used to. It's like knowing all of this shit is one thing, but it's like actualizing it and living it and experiencing it and making the best of that shit, knowing like it can only work out for you. That's where I'm at. And it's like it's just knowing it, but making sure that I'm keeping the faith. You get what I'm saying? In this shit, bro. So whatever you believe in, it's just like understanding like shit gonna work out. And all you gotta do is believe in yourself. And I think that's another part of it. I've never not believed in myself. I just think like, once again, it's just one of the, I ain't gonna say like weak points, but something that was closest to you, you wouldn't even think. I mean, I ain't gonna sit up and say that shit. Like, that would be me capping this shit down. Like, how can I sit up and say that shit close, and I'm sitting up telling you how this shit is emotional breadcrumbing and shit. It's like your idea of that shit is what's dying, and it's like, making sure that you understand what's actually happening versus your expectation or idea of that shit. And it's like, that's the part where I'm at. It's like I know it and I'm grieving it and doing everything. It's just like you just getting through it and getting accustomed to the change, bro. And I think that's like some of the realest shit you can, if you can acknowledge that shit and say that shit. I feel like, like you already know where you at, bro. And it's just about remembering that shit. Cause like it's be too many confirmations, be too many signs like telling me like just keep going. It's like it don't matter what it be, nigga. Fucking cat just pushed up on me, nigga, like nodded his head and shit, like shit crazy. He walk around and shit, you be like, boy, what the fuck, like nigga, shit just get to moving. So you just start seeing it, bro. that shit be crazy though, bro. The shit I be talking about though, bro. It's like, and this is me. This is how I operate, bro. So it's like, this is the other aspects I probably don't be talking about as much. You get what I'm saying? But it's like, even with this shit, it's like I wanted to do this shit for so long, and it's like now I'm finally doing it and shit, and like, that nigga finally doing that shit. Nigga had farted, nigga. Fuck. Shit real, bro. I ain't finna cut this shit out, man. Nigga had human. Fuck going. It ain't about being human though, bro. It's experience. The experience of this shit though, bro. Like, that's what I'm just really realizing that I'm getting through. It's like I can know all this shit, but it's like at the end of the day, you gotta live it, twin. And it's like, that's the best part of it, bro. Cause like, I know I done put in the work. All them fucking hours and late nights and moments like this and shit. Like, man, look, you can't even make that shit up, bro. Like, you gotta know that shit ain't in vain. Like, none of that shit is in vain, bro. So it's like, whatever you going through, bro, it's like, none of that shit is in vain. That shit is always here to teach you something, to show you something, bro. I just did them pants. I'm about to show them real quick. Alright, y'all. It took me a second to figure out how to flip the camera on out, but this how they look so far. It really just to give it that, like, ashy effect. It definitely done made the pants more stiffer, but it's like, the shit gave them more, like, I don't know, like, you see that shit. Like, these was just plain black. All of this, like, grainy effect, that shit was not on here, bro. Like, none of that shit. And you can see it. You can see the differences in that shit, like, on every side, too, bro. Like, but yeah, bro. This how the wax jeans look. You know what I'm saying? I got my feet out and shit. Just put them on. But yeah, bro. These actually came out fire, bro. Way better than I expected. And they look even better in the mirror. Gang, so this how I styled it. Side view. This another custom piece I had did a few years back. So just putting this shit on with a scarf and the jeans as a whole, it's like just fire. Yeah, man. I feel like, I might have to do this shit like this. Hold on, let's look at this shit like this, cause the lighting. I'm over showing this shit, bro. I'm so over this shit, bro. This shit tough though, bro. Like how's my deal on the Shinati Vizu? I just might double down his shit with Ryu. How's my deal on the Shinati Vizu? I just might double down his shit with Ryu. I don't even know what the fuck I want to do. I don't even got nothing to do on this shit. They look different though, anyways. So I can't wait to see how they come out. Cause I've been wanting to do this shit, and I used the last of my stuff for this shit too, bro. So really, goddamn, I've been wanting to do this shit. So I finally fucking did it. I probably should have did it when I first had the idea, when I had more shit, like the fucking. I ain't tripping on that shit, man. I did that shit when I was supposed to do it, bro. But yeah, man, just talking about like shit that you be overcoming and shit with this shit, bro. That shit can be a lot on you emotionally, though, bro. But it's like, you gotta know, like, nigga, you wouldn't be. This shit is not gonna give you anything that you cannot handle, bro. And it's like, I feel like the path and of greatness that a nigga, well, I'm already greatness, and I'm walking that path of it. So it's like, I think this is really just a part of it, bro. It's not even like a thing I know. I be having to make sure I'm like focused on how I'm talking and shit. And it's like, it don't be that serious, but it do in certain points. It's like I don't even want to have no doubt in how I'm talking and shit, bro, because it's not how I do. And I feel like even just having, this shit, bro. I know, like, me clipping this shit and getting this shit out, like, nigga be fucking with this shit. But even if nigga wasn't, and this shit got 1 view, no views, it's like, I know what I'm doing this shit for. It's a bigger picture shit, bro. And, like, really understanding, like, my voice got to be heard, bro. Even if this shit don't seem overly like business talk, it's like, this is something like niggas gonna need to hear. They want to walk this kind of path, bro. And it's like, I know I'm the example, even if it feels like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, this is how this shit really feel, bro. But it's like, it just changed, bro. And it's like getting used to the unknown, not having, surrendering over control, bro. And that's been a thing that I know I've been working through. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm not going to say it like I don't know myself or know the things that I've been working on. I've been working on this shit. So now it's like, in moments like this, it's like, that's why you're still getting through. That's why you every day you're progressing. Even if you choose rest, rest is just as important as doing all that working and posting and all of that shit. But it's like just really being at the point of like, what the fuck, like not choosing burnout because of projections and shit, bro. Because it's like choosing to rest, choosing work, fun, balance, choosing to, you know what I'm saying, express yourself in the ways that you need to, bro. And it's like, shit just like, it's changed, bro. I'm seeing myself change in real time, embodying things that it's like, shit that I'm like, oh shit. Like, even if niggas are trying to make you feel small or try to play it like you small and shit just cause, it's like, some niggas only got money, bro. Like, you take that shit away, a lot of that shit, who are they? And it's like, I can say I'm everything, bro. Even if I ain't got a dollar in my goddamn pocket, my nigga, it's like, nigga, I'm everything, bro. And it's like, it's not even about what I can do. It's just about who I am, how I show up. And it's like, also knowing that, like, now in this season when I'm choosing me, it's nothing wrong with being selfish because I've showed up for everybody else. You get what I'm saying? I did all that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Helping people, you know what I'm saying? And really ain't getting the accolades for it. Like, you know how nigga be talking about that shit? I just seen that shit today, bro. Like, nigga said ain't no real... I ain't gonna sit up and say ain't no awards for being a real nigga, because, everything is seen, bro. Like, you gotta know, like, nigga, that shit just don't go unnoticed. It don't matter if ain't nobody physically see it, you know what I'm saying? Seeing this shit in the spirit around shit like that, bro. Knowing that shit, alright, bro, like, niggas see that shit, knowing that you greatness far beyond this shit, like, your existence deems you worthy. You don't gotta do nothing to be X, Y, and Z to, feel like you something or somebody. You somebody just because you born, my nigga. I'm not sitting up saying, like you ain't gotta do nothing, but it's like, you don't. A lot of times, it's like, nigga, who you are right now is enough. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I get the fucking human existence. That's the human part of that shit. But it's like, as you are, like, nigga, you was born whole. So it's like, all this extra shit is just part of this experience, bro. And it's just like really remembering that shit, knowing that shit, and embodying what you know, bro. Like, I just be at the point of, like, I'm done acting like I don't know shit for people's insecurity, or, you get what I'm saying, to make you not feel some type of way. It's like, nigga, I didn't do all this studying to make you feel bad about yourself, bro. I don't even come like that. So it's like, that shit weird, bro. Like, when you got niggas who steady doing that shit, bro. Anytime you goddamn do some fire shit, or anytime you do some shit, nigga get to talking down on themselves and shit, be like, nigga, goddamn, nigga. And it's like, you doing your best in where you at. So it's like, you're not judging yourself, but it's like, these are the things you can't let bother you and shit. And it's like, that shit, it just gets annoying, bro. Like, or you doing something that niggas ain't did before, and niggas want to, like, try to cast doubt and shit like that. Like, just being able to see beyond this shit and understand, like, nigga, I'm gonna do this shit anyways, and still say it's the first shit ever, because I know it is. If ain't nobody doing it, why not be confident in it, bro? You see what I'm saying? Like, and once again, it's just like popping your shit regardless. And it's like some things, it's just like you learning, like, everything don't gotta be said, bro. You don't gotta prove who you are to these people, and they continuously choose to misunderstand you, bro. And, like, want to see a old version of you that they benefit off of playing small and shit, nigga. And it's like, really just being mindful of, all of that shit, bro. Not letting your shit, seep out because you trying to get niggas to see you in a certain light that they already know who you is, but they choose to rather want to see you smile and shit, nigga. Like, that's why I just cut the whole shit off as a whole, nigga. Like, fuck all that shit. I ain't even finna go back and forth with that shit, bro. And it's like, it's just, it's shit crazy, bro. But it's like, it'd be a part of change, bro. And it's like, that's why they be saying that shit. Like, they be saying, like, you change and shit. But it's like, the thing is, you just really realizing a lot of things and shit. You start setting boundaries, start knowing yourself. You know, people that really want to see you grow, they're not going to feel threatened by that shit. But if people are feeling threatened by you setting boundaries, you coming into yourself, it's because they benefited off of you, your energy, or you just playing small. And it's like, I ain't going for that shit, bro. Like, it don't even matter, bro. Day in and day out, however this shit gotta go, it's like, shit gotta go. It's like, you can't let that shit fuck with you, bro. And it's like, for me, I think this is really an outlet too, bro. Like, cause it's like, I think more people now are going through things like this, and it's like easier to speak on it versus trying to talk to people who are not committed to growth or healing or looking within at themselves. Cause you know, to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and really look at yourself like fully and not run from that shit, bro. Niggas not doing that shit, bro. Niggas trying to numb that shit out and shit, bro. And it's like, I ain't sitting up saying like a nigga just perfect and shit. Like, it ain't been moments like I ain't want to do that shit my damn self, but it be like, in order to do this shit, you got to, bro. And it's like, you know, that shit just what come with that shit. It ain't about like just being the realest nigga, but being a real nigga within yourself, bro. Like, ain't saying like nigga ain't ever just tripped out. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, man, that shit, like, when you first really start seeing this shit, especially if you can see, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, that shit fuck with you, bro. But it's like, you gotta know, like, you ain't doing this shit for the generation behind you, bro. You can't do nothing for these niggas. You gotta do this shit for the generation and shit in front of you, bro. Like, nigga, like, what you passing down, you can't. I'm not sitting there saying it's not possible, but that takes a lot of work and shit for people who are choosing and willingly don't want to change. They're telling you out your mouth that's what they're choosing. You know, they would be saying that shit like, children make mistakes, adults make decisions. It's like, I'm not finna be fucking trying to help niggas and they fucking basically acting like overgrown children in this shit. You get what I'm saying? But they know what they doing though. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, these niggas older, I ain't gonna even go that way, like, be like, boy, you old as fuck, like, nah, bro, it's just like, niggas, you grown as shit, bro, you still acting like that, and it's like, that's that shit I'm breaking, when you breaking generational cycles and shit, bro, like, them niggas is not gonna applaud you for that shit, because you done made it through things that would've broke them. Oh, don't do it in their face, oh, man, they gonna be pissed, that what the fuck a nigga going through, bro, like, not letting this shit break you, bro. I don't give a fuck. Can't nothing break this shit, bro. It's just like, that shit hurt. Shit might hurt. Shit might fall to the ground a little bit. You might cry. I did that shit, bro. You can get up, though. Like, feel that shit. Hell, you can lay on the ground for a little bit. Get that shit out. I'm just saying, though, bro. Like, this shit just real shit, though, bro. Like, man, look. Yeah, nigga, like, really, though. It should be a part of that shit, bro. Like, going in, don't nobody else see this shit but you. Nigga, you doing this shit and they ain't clapping. They don't see this shit, though. I don't let niggas see this shit to an extent, bro. But it's like, nigga know I'm still doing fire shit, even when they was seeing this shit. Niggas only trying to fuck with the shit when the shit good, bro. Any other time, it's like, you know what I'm saying? They ain't really in that shit for real, bro. You can't. Anybody who not fucking with this shit from the jump is never gonna truly be for it. Like, if they can tell you at their mouth and say that shit, nah. Anything else that they doing is a byproduct of what you're doing and what they want to attach themselves to. So it's like, nah, nigga. And then I think, like, niggas know the growth and change is happening And they would rather double down on nigga trying to keep you to who you are just for the sake of comfortability, bro. And that'd be a lot of that shit with that older like generation shit, bro. Like nigga or try to keep like a hierarchy going or some shit like that, bro. And it's just like, nah, bro, I ain't going. But it's just like really understanding though, like nigga, it's a new day, it's a new age, bro. Shit changed, shit different, bro. And it's like just really understanding like, nigga, you in a whole different bracket with this shit, bro. And it's not to look down on niggas, it's just to understand who you are, bro. And it's like, cause you gotta know, you gotta be able to say these things, because if you aren't saying these things, niggas will try to act like you aren't who you are, and they see that shit in full time, nigga, and you gotta just understand that shit. And it's like, I don't think that shit just ever occurred to me though, like just how that shit even like felt though, bro. Like, so I know like, yeah, bro, this shit just a part of this shit, man. But it's text. But yeah, man, just understanding this shit though, bro. Like, there's a lot of things that happen with growth, bro. When you start growing, bro, everybody ain't gonna be happy about that shit. And that said it is. It's just like, if you took away words, nigga, if this shit was on mute, how would you feel? Would you feel loved by this shit? How would you know what I'm saying? And that be like how I be looking at this shit, bro. Like, I don't really feel like that. I feel like some old shit I done let go of, bro. And it's like, I done made room for this shit now. And I think like, see, I know I done made room for this shit. And it's just like, you like, oh shit. You done closed out all this old shit and you done made space in your life to receive and shit. Yeah, nigga, I'm getting used to that shit, because it's like, now you like, cause you don't know what the fuck happening next, but it's not like you ain't prepared for this shit. Like, it can seem scary because it's like you feel like you by yourself, but it's like you never by yourself, and it's like you gotta know anything falling away is gonna be replaced by something better, bro. And it's like, for me, it's about, of course, everybody want to live like quote unquote good life and shit, but nigga, going through the process to get to that shit, it's not even about seeing them saying like your life not good now, because it's always good in every aspect with that shit. Like, so I don't even want to sit up and kick that shit like, oh, like living a good life is something to attain when that shit starts within you, bro. But just understanding the change and shit more so. But I don't even know what the fuck I was getting at with that shit, bro. I was saying something, I had to go back and try to listen to that shit, bro. But just knowing like, nigga, it's work to be put in with that shit that is kind of like unseen and shit. And I don't even forgot what the fuck I was just getting at with that shit, bro. Just growth and shit, bro. Change and getting used to that shit, man. Like, overcoming that shit, bro. I don't even, this shit funny as fuck, bro. I might just be done with this shit, bro. Shit that goddamn went squiggly on a nigga, bro. I forgot what the fuck I was talking about, bro. But knowing it's greater on the other side of this shit, bro. Like, you ain't just going through this shit for nothing, man. They gotta cut up some fashion shit, man. And wax these jeans. I'm actually glad I did this video, bro, because it was like I had to finish the last leg. Like, I did the front 2 legs, and then I was on the back. Had to do that one. So this shit kind of look different though, bro. I had to put, yeah, that shit different, bro. But yeah, hell yeah though, bro. That was a good event for a nigga. I ain't gonna cap. I needed to get that shit out my damn self. So yeah, bro, I'm grateful for this shit, bro. Shit like this, moments like this, because I'm knowing like, having vulnerable moments like this, that shit can help somebody else too, bro. And that's why I'm like, I fuck with this shit, even if it's like just me sitting in my room, like, twin, I know this shit gonna be big, bro. It ain't gonna be like this forever, bro. And this shit gonna be shit like niggas looking back on like, damn, bro, he did it, I can do it too. And that'd be my message with this shit, to show niggas like, you can do this shit too. You feel me? Like, that's my shit, to inspire niggas directly or indirectly through any of this shit, whether it's through what I'm saying, whether it's through me popping this shit, or like, you get what I'm saying? Just do any of this shit, bro, because it's like, niggas can do this shit too, bro. Anybody can do this shit, bro. It's like, really just showing that this shit is attainable, bro, and like these are the things that you may feel along the way of doing this shit. Say you want to do it, you know what I'm saying? Hell, if you just even want to be a part of the ride, bro, like, cause I know this shit isn't just towards this. You can be going through these kind of things in everyday life, you know what I'm saying? Everything, this whole shit is changing, bro. So every day is like, you know, an opportunity to grow, bro, and you can just, you know, everybody got them going on their own path and shit, bro. So for the people who it's for, who it resonate for, bro, like, you know, it's gonna reach them every time, bro. So it's like, no matter how long it take for a video like this to get seen by somebody, it's like, I know the right people gonna see it when it's time for them to see it, bro. So even if it's just one person, like, nigga, that one person was supposed to see that shit how it's supposed to be. I know it's bigger than that, but like, you know what I'm saying? Just in the midst of it now, like, almost talking like present to future tense type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just taking the time out to do this shit, bro. Like, this shit matters, though, bro. Man, this shit matters so goddamn much, bro. So, yeah, man, if you made it this far in the video, it's probably another 40 fucking minute video. Almost 30 to 40, maybe. Something like that, man. Drop a plug in the chat, man. Catch y'all boy on the next one, man. Alright.